what are some maybe coping mechanisms or just some advice for someone who is dealing with that
Mhm.
in our space? What advice can you give them?
So, the biggest thing with meditation is the ability to separate yourself from your thoughts, your identity with your thoughts. I understand that we have a thought and we think that it's a part of us. We think that it means something about us. Like, imagine yourself sitting in a park and your thoughts are just coming and going and doing what they want. You
Right.
don't necessarily need to be attached to them. You don't need to. I picture my thoughts, my brain as many different things. A playground is one of them, and clouds, just like passing clouds. Whatever fits you. But the
Right.
point is, like in the train station, you don't have to get on that train. That train is going somewhere, and if you don't want to go to that place, you can choose to let that train go past. And it's a lot harder to realize that having not meditated than it is being meditated up. When you decide that I'm not going to move, I'm not going to give in to any of my impulses, I'm simply going to sit here and observe, you realize that your thoughts are just completely spontaneous. They're not a reliable source of like direction.
Mm.
And
Right.
you also, uh, ultimately, though, they will give you direction. So separating yourself from them is the first step. The second step is beginning to train your mind to think different thoughts, right?
Right.
So if you're thinking thoughts that are leading you to depression, which is ultimately the case,
Right.
you want to take a second, you want to take a step back. You want to observe the thoughts that are creating that experience and start working in more positive, optimistic thoughts. I say that a magic pill would probably be to think of a worthy goal for yourself. Like, what is the best thing that you could possibly do while you're here on earth? Well, how can you serve other people? How can you give? And it's going to be difficult at first, but having meaning behind what you do on a daily basis does a lot to incentivize consumption of quality content, and learning and reading books and all of that stuff is all incentivized because I know that I'm here for a reason that's bigger than myself. But when you focus on, if your first thought in the first thing in the morning is how can I give more,